Hello, in this video we're going to look at Pythagoras' theorem, and as always we're going to start with the key points. So first of all, in any right angle triangle, the name given to the longest side, which is over here and can be found opposite the right angle, is called the hypotenuse. Now, when Pythagoras' theorem is stated, it's usually stated with the hypotenuse labelled as C and the other two lengths labelled A and B. And in that form, you get the second key point, which is that C squared equals A squared add B squared. It's very important to remember that this is only true when the hypotenuse has been labelled as C and the other two lengths A and B. You could obviously have it as x squared, y squared and z squared, p, q and r, etc, etc. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of worked examples. They're really reasonably straightforward. The first one, you've been given a right angle triangle and they would like you to find the length of the hypotenuse to three significant figures. And the hypotenuse has been called x. So we can say from what we know about Pythagoras' theorem that x squared is going to be 5 squared add 8 squared. And that's 25 add 64. So x will be the square root of 25 add 64, which is 89. And then the square root of 89, you're going to input that into your calculator. I would always recommend that you write several digits to start with. And then round it as they've asked you to in the question. So centimetres and three significant figures. Okay, on to example 2. Now in example 2, there's two things to notice. First of all, they've given you the hypotenuse in this question. And secondly, they've asked for the answer in third form. So we'll come to the third form bit shortly. But first of all, let's write down Pythagoras' theorem. So this time we know that the hypotenuse squared is 10 squared is equal to x squared add 4 squared, which means that 100 is x squared add 4 squared. So if I subtract, might as well write 16 actually. And then we'll subtract this 16 from both sides. And we'll get 84 is equal to x squared. And so if I square root both sides, x is equal to the square root of 84. Now, if we want to write this in simplest third form, then we need to express root 84 in simplest third form. And there's two ways of doing that, you'll remember from the earlier thirds work. One is to prime factorise 84. In which case you would get that x equals root 2 times 2 times 3 times 7, which is root 2, root 2, root 3, root 7. This first pair is root 2 multiplied by root 2, so that is just 2. And root 3 multiplied by root 7 is 21. So that's one way of getting it into simplest third form. Or the other way was to write 84 by finding the highest possible square factor. And the highest square factor is 4. So 4 times 21. So that means root 84 is root of 4 times 21, which is root 4, root 21, which is 2 root 21. And that gets you then to the same answer that we had. So that should be enough for you to be able to get on with the practice questions. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you on the next video.